I think our young guys are learning how hard it is to win. That's pretty much, it comes down to that. It's really hard to win in the ACC. The urgency with the young guys isn't what it needs to be. We know obviously we've got some guys that should be playing supportive roles and they're fire. We lost some key pieces that will thankfully be back soon. But it's really hard to win at this level, and the urgency that requires, it's not showing itself consistently enough.
And you already knew you were down two starters, and then Anya goes down in the third. It just kept getting worse in the third. How hard is it? And you were down a fourth starter late in the game. How hard is it to adjust to that sort of thing?
It's hard is what you expect when you come to the University of North Carolina, right? It's hard to me to have, I always look at where one goes, there's another opportunity for other guys, right? And so there's a great opportunity for some of our young guys to step up. And we're not asking them to come up with Toddy and Deja's numbers, right? We're asking Toddy and Deja to take on a little bit more, which they've done. We're asking for the younger guys to come in and compete at a very high level, and to take care of the things that we talk about every day. Take care of their 1v1 matchup, take care of their on the glass, their 1v1 matchup. It comes down to urgency. It's hard to teach urgency. At some point, it's all that matters is winning, right? And until we get there, until you get there with young guys, you're kind of trying to feel your way and find your way through things. And you just kind of got to go. And it's frustrating when we see it and we just, they're taking their time getting that figured out.
Hey coach, you guys shot pretty well from the floor. What did you see in the second half that kind of caused you guys to lose that halftime lead? I guess even though despite your shooting success or decent shooting success.
Obviously the third quarter is where the game was lost. That was the start of the game, started the third quarter with a turnover that led to a run out. They had scored off so many of our turnovers in the third quarter, carelessness with the basketball, not having safeties on missed shots, just things that require communication inside the lines and just accountability. Again, there's an inexperience to how quickly directional changes happen in our game. And we weren't quick enough 1 through 5, and the beauty of our game is it's 1 through 5, right? And so as much as Toddy and Deja can do, they're 2/5 of what's happening, right? And so the other 3 are the other 3/5, right? And they've got to, you can't guard a break on your own. We need more pieces playing with more urgency.
Yeah, Toddy and Deja shot 51%, and the rest of the team shot 30. So it was just hard to find offense elsewhere, and I guess it makes it easier to guard you guys.
Look at their numbers. You look in a locker room and their hearts are heavy. Look what they're doing for us, right? It's offensively, we know we're missing about 25 points a game and a lot of years of experience and a whole lot of minutes, right? We know that. So offensively, we expect that we're going to have to make things happen. And so we're going to have to keep the game to a lower number, right? Which means defense and rebounding are really critical. Defense and rebounding is not something that requires skill. It requires urgency, right? And so we just need our younger guys to understand how important the urgency is on that end. They're not all of a sudden going to score 30 points. That's not going to happen, right? We know that, right? But the urgency defensively, to keep these games alive so that our stars can go do their thing would help.
And you guys forced a lot of turnovers as well, but you had 19 of your own. Was it something that you had emphasized to the team before the game that you wanted to get out there and force early turnovers, because that gave you guys a lot of fast break opportunities early in the first quarter?
Yeah, I thought they made some adjustments from the Louisville loss. We had 3 total assists for the first time, I don't know, since I was born. And then they had 8 assists by half or 9 assists by half. So move the ball a whole lot better, et cetera. And then the game comes down to just the 5v5 inside the lines, right? And like I said, the shift of direction, the blockouts, the activity, the slides, the things that aren't chess, right? It's who and the urgency that requires. We're not at the younger guys are not quite at the level yet to be able to do that.
We're gonna get played here real quick, okay?
You got it.
Can you tell me anything about Anya and Kennedy?
Nope, not yet. I've been from the locker room to you.
All right, we got David in here first.
Here they are.
Hey, Deja. Syracuse is completely different team this year than they were last year. What kind of challenges do they present to you all?
They're tough. They play extremely hard. We knew that coming in. We knew that they were a machine on the offensive boards, and we didn't match that. We didn't match their toughness. We didn't match their physicality. We didn't match how hard they play. We let them punch us, especially in that third quarter. And I thought we could have blown the lead open in the first half, but we gave up a lot of, we still gave up boards. We were bailing them out with fouls. We were, we just didn't have a sense of urgency.
And Deja, you seem to find the openings in the first half to get open, and then they didn't come as often in the second half. Did the zone defend you differently in the second half?
No, I think, we didn't really have an opportunity, especially in the third quarter, to really even get into anything. We were soft with the ball. We were careless. And that's when they went on their run. They scored a lot off of our turnovers. So there wasn't really any opportunity.
So how is it? You're already down 2 starters, and then you lose Anya in the middle of the third quarter. You're down 3 starters. What does that do to you guys on the court trying to weather all that amid that third quarter, which was rough to begin with?
My mindset is not really worried about. I just worry about what we got. Not really worried about what we don't have until later, until the buzzer goes off. So yeah, she went out, but then I was just worried about who was subbing in for her and who was on next. And I don't think, the younger guys had a sense of urgency to kind of step up when we were going down with starters. So I'm worried about what we got, not what we don't have.
Hey Deja, I talked to Coach about this a little bit, and you mentioned some things briefly, but you guys seem to kind of get in an offensive rhythm late in the second quarter, and then obviously the third quarter didn't go your way. What, from a player's perspective, kind of went wrong? Was it the offensive side, or was it just a tightened Syracuse defense?
We had a lot of careless turnovers, and like I said, we were soft at the ball in that third quarter, and that led to a lot of their runouts, and they scored, I think, dang near off of everyone. I think it was us. I don't really think they changed up their pressure or anything, because we handle pressure well, but I think that we were just too careless and too soft with the ball.
Do you think some of the young players maybe got overwhelmed there in that third quarter?
It's possible, but at the end of the day, if they want to help this team and if they want more minutes, we're going to expect a lot out of them, especially with 2 starters down, and they just have to be willing to listen and follow, and just have more of an urgency. And I think that's what we were missing tonight. I don't want to make the excuse that they're young, because we know that, but also we know that we need them eventually down the line, and they just have to be willing to listen.
What was Coach's message after the game? It seemed like it was maybe a longer session after the game than normal.
Yeah, I think it was. I talked to the team. She talked to the team. It was mostly just we have to play harder. One thing that I know that she will not coach is effort. So that's on us, that we have to bring from everybody, especially the younger guys. I think there wasn't much more. I feel like me and Toddy could do. Yeah, we could have maybe try to play a little harder, but it's like we just need other people to step up now more than ever. That was basically the message.
Were you the only player who spoke to the team after the game?
I was.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Toddy, how much is this time in the season challenging for y'all right now, dealing with multiple starters out and kind of dealing with some adversity on the road?
Yeah, just the mentality coming into these games, knowing that, we are ranked, 15 in the country, and, every night is going to get somebody's best. And I think, it's a road game, and road games are hard. We're in the ACC, so and on top of that, we have a couple players that are out. So, it leads to, underclass, stepping up and, playing their roles and stuff. So just coming together and finding those pieces. But, we'll figure it out.
And Toddy, you went down late in the game. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Cool. But
Hey Toddy, I asked Deja and Coach this as well, but you guys seem to get in your rhythm kind of late in the first half. What kind of changed in the third quarter to put you guys down in that hole? Just kind of a general question, but
Yeah, I think the turnovers, I think that kind of, yeah, the third quarter is like the starts of the game. And I feel like, just the careless turnovers that we had, led to runouts for them. And then we had a little hiccups in the defensive end, closing out to shooters and stuff. So really just like understanding like, the time that we need to lock in and understand like we need stops to scores and, just finding rhythm. So I think it kind of shook up our rhythm in the third half or in the second half. Anything?
The tough, it was just a tough challenge for your younger teammates, particularly in the third quarter. And could this just be a big learning game for them in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're only I have their backs, and we're all a team. So like we understand, but it's a time and a place and, they have this time to, come into the game and do what they do. So just understanding, watching film, we're going to take this as a lesson and, nothing to pout about. I mean, we just have to keep going forward because we are all we have. So, I mean, yeah. Anything?
Is the offensive rebounding the biggest part of Alyssa's game? You're missing a lot of her game, but was the offensive rebounding the biggest part of Alyssa's game that you guys are missing?
Yeah, her pursuit to the rebounds are impeccable. I mean, she's a beast out there. So, yeah, for sure. But having those guys to step up, like Jess and Tiani, like I think that'll really help us and helping them mature in that way, in these games and stuff. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Good. Thank you.
Safe trip back.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.